Hello friends, welcome to Breakfast with Sergio. This is episode number 57 and I'm super excited because I'm here today with my good friend Ben Kampmeier. Hi Ben, how are you?
Sergio.
We are here for breakfast and today my friends we're going to talk about mentor, the mentor friend. So that's episode 57 with Breakfast with Sergio. And Ben, thank you for being here with me today. Again, episode 57, Breakfast with Sergio right now. I love that we are here. It's a beautiful day out.
Yeah.
And early morning, we're starting the week. So what a great to have a conversation. And we do this usually once a month, right? Where we get together. And for those of you, my friends, who do not know Ben, I've talked about Ben in some episodes before as a good mentor friend. I talk always about the three types of mentors we all need in our life, right? A mentor who's a friend. A lot of times we don't see a friend as a mentor, but that is important to have because we can mentor each other out. There's the mentor advisor and the mentor expert. Like the mentor expert will be the person that you write the book about. That's not somebody that you can call on the phone like I can call you, for example. And that is pretty cool. And Ben, tell us a little bit about yourself.
Yeah, well, Sergio, first of all, I'm really excited to actually be on Breakfast with Sergio because I watch it all the time.
That's awesome.
And now I feel honored to be here. So yeah, I'm a pastor in Indiana. I pastor at a church that you're a part of, and grew up in the Midwest. I've lived in Illinois and Indiana, North Carolina, different parts of my life, and just love what I get to do. Got a family, 2 little kids. And but also I'm not a good artist, but I have a passion for the arts.
That's right.
And so I love everything that you do, and we met I think it's several years ago, and have just had a wonderful friendship since.
Yeah, and it's kind of art has been one of the conversations that has kind of brought us together. And but you're not the typical pastor. When I think of a pastor, I think it's a guy with a suit and very serious. You got the long beard, you got the earrings, you got the tattoos and everything else. You are much younger than me.
Even. Oh, not that much. Give yourself some credit, man.
But with all those things, that's what I love about you. You are very down to earth, very real.
Thanks, Sergio.
And I've always enjoyed these guys' conversations, really open friendship where we just talk, right? We get together and we have conversations. So I thought maybe today I think would be pretty cool to talk a little bit about that mentor friend. And that I think we all should have. And for a long time, actually, in my life, I didn't have a person like that until kind of you came along. And that for me was kind of very refreshing. And, let's talk a little bit about it because you also have mentors.
Absolutely, I mean, mentorship, just like any area of work, it's a really important part of the work that I do. And my mentor expert, mentor advisors, and people that are around me. I think one of the things I was thinking about this morning when I knew that you and I would be sitting down is we sort of naturally go to thinking about mentorship in sort of hierarchical terms, where we think, the mentor is this sort of sensei, Jedi figure, kind of bringing down all the knowledge on the person that they're training or walking with. And when I've mentored people, I'm sure the same is for you when you mentor artists and connect with them through your community, I get so much out of mentoring. And so the beautiful thing about this idea of the mentor friend is I think it's what we have, and it's the perfect picture of sort of that mutual, it's not hierarchical like this, but we're both sort of pushing on each other and challenging each other, encouraging each other, asking each other key questions. And it's really enjoyable. That's the other thing. It's not begrudging work, but we're learning from each other. You and I, we're in very different fields. We both value a lot of similar things. We learn from each other. I love just how, even though we mentor each other, our friendship brings me into spaces that I'm normally not going to be able to be in. I mean, the truth is, Sergio, I work for church, and sometimes I love church people, but church can be a little bit of a bubble. And I've really enjoyed, I've come to some of your shows and met some of your friends, and it's taught me new things about ways to be in the world and just people that I've been able to meet. So I feel like mentor friend lives on this level, and it's absolutely mutual in beautiful ways.
Absolutely, I think you said it pretty cool. And sometimes you think, when I'm looking for a mentor, I'm looking somebody who, who's like the teacher or the professor or something like that. And actually, a realization that I've had recently too is that a mentor friend could actually also be not only the friend but also be the expert in a certain area, and like in your case, we talk about spiritual advice and so on. So you're not only the friend, but you are also the expert in that field, because that's your field, right? And
vice versa. When we talk about art and beauty, and these are things that are really interesting to me. You teach me things about that world and creative process. Like, I've learned so much from you. I've also picked up a lot of really cool apps from you. So you may be older than me, but I think you're cooler than me, man.
We always exchange apps.
We do.
And what's working. I'm trying to get this guy to do more live videos, right?
Yeah, that's right. Well, here I am.
And here we are. So what do you have for breakfast, Ben?
Just coffee this morning.
We just got an early start.
Just coffee, but we like coffee. That's right. One of the things I really enjoy. So
let's give maybe your friends some tips on how to find a good mentor. This type of mentor friend, because at least in my experience, it's been hard to find. Over the years, I've not always had that. Right. So how can we find? Maybe we can find.
Well, one of the things that, and I'm sure you've shared this before, but one of the things we talk about in my world here at church, we have young people who value the ability to tap into the wisdom of people who've had some more experience in life, those experts, advisors, who also want to be friends. And I think there's always this expectation that this mentor will sort of apparate out of nowhere and say, Sergio, I would like to mentor you.
Right.
It hardly ever works that way. And I think the person that is a mentee, and this is in any of those three dimensions of relationship that you're talking about, I think it's on them to go to somebody that they feel would bring some value into their life, walking with them, teaching them some things, and say, hey, I would like you to mentor me. And I think even to define that relationship and say, here's how I see it looking like. Like you and I, we have structure, right? So I remember we got together a couple times. We were really jiving. We really appreciated everything that we had in encouraging each other. And you were like, dude, let's get this on the calendar, because we know busy lives, you know, families, work, stuff will happen. So I would say, if you know anybody, even if you don't know them well, you could go to them and say, hey, I would like you to mentor me, and here are sort of the ways that I would see that working out. Use some of Sergio's language. If it's somebody that you see fitting in that advisor role or a mentor friend, say, I'd like it to look like this. Would you be open? Because it'd be good to assume that the person who might mentor you would know something good would come from mentoring you. You know, the illustration I use all the time comes from physics, and you know this about me. I'm not a sports person at all, so this is like my only sports metaphor. It's barely a sports metaphor, but when people talk about things, I've heard this before, they say, you know, if you're going to throw a baseball or football, I mean, the reality of physics is, you're the one moving the ball, but the ball is moving on your hand as you're throwing it. And so it's kind of, as you push on that mentor and say, hey, I would like to launch you into a mentorship relationship with me, they're pushing back on you, and you're both receiving a benefit. And I think we forget that there's a mutuality in every level of mentorship.
That's right. That's absolutely correct. And also another thing is about mentorship is that it doesn't have to be forever. You know, there are stages in life. There are transitions in life to even like right now you're moving to another city.
That's right.
So we're gonna lose some of these, things that we used to do on a regular basis. But that's another season of life, right? There's some transitions, and the friendship stays, and we're still connected and so on. But you know, that maybe that stage in which I needed the most and you needed the most, maybe, or that connection, that friendship happened for a reason during that period of time. Now there's you're moving on to some other.
That's right. We got some transitions in our lives, and you know, my family and I are going to be headed to a great art city, Grand Rapids, Michigan, and excited to be a part of leading another church there. And you know, I think what you're talking about is so important, because again, if I'm in the seat of a mentor or even a mentee, if you go in without a spoken expectation, hey, this doesn't have to be forever, it may feel kind of daunting. But what if you put like a temporal thing on it, say for a season? I mean, you and I have had several years together. I know we're going to continue in friendship and spend time together. I'm going to find you at Art Prize. I don't know if any of your listeners know what that is.
Yes, of course,
big art show in Grand Rapids. I mean, we're going to hang out, dude. But it's going to look different. And the pressure isn't on then to, you don't have to go together forever. Same thing with, you know, I'm sure when you've gone through transitions in your life, you know, I've got one mentor expert in my life right now, and he and I have already said we're going to continue, but it's going to be in a different capacity. That I can call him anytime. that there's going to be some different organizational gatherings. We're definitely going to be bound to bump into each other. But knowing the resources there is really good.
Right.
I know that in my new church, I know that in my new city, I can call you,
right.
especially if I want to do something with art or
right.
Stuff that creativity, things that you've advised me on. It's not that far of a drive.
Right.
I can even bring you in, vice versa.
Right.
And
Exactly.
I think that's a great word, Sergio.
Thanks so much, Ben. That was been awesome
Yeah.
conversation. Thank you for being here with Breakfast with Sergio again. We're gonna miss you, of course,
Oh,
here and
these
times together. So it's kind of nice that we kind of recorded our last one. After we click stop in the video, then we'll have our regular quick chat. But don't be fooled, but just because he is a pastor doesn't mean that he's not approachable. That's why I love this guy. He's so different, so cool, so down to earth. And sometimes we have these expectations or these pictures that we put on religion of any kind. And you break all those down.
Yeah.
That's why I love you, man.
Are you going to tag me on this?
I will tag you.
Tag me, and if any of your listeners, viewers have questions, want to talk more about what we talked about or anything, contact me on Facebook. I'd love that.
Cool.
So
awesome, my friends. Thank you. Thanks again for watching Breakfast with Sergio. We'll see you in the next episode.
See you guys.
Follow me on Instagram, Sergio Gomez Projects. Are you on Instagram?
Yes, I am.
Where at?
I think it's mostly my wife, but it's Ben Kampmeier, so my last name. So find me on Facebook, and I'll try and be on Instagram more.
Very cool. Good seeing you, man.
Awesome,
Thanks so
bro.
much. Take care.
Thanks, Sergio.
Bye, everybody.